Wish you all a very, very happy morning, happy evening, and happy afternoon wherever you are dialing from. I know we are in the east coast of east and the central time zone of USA. So it is a pretty evening for us. And I know many of you guys are dialing from various parts of the world. It could be early morning, or if you are all the way from Australia or New Zealand, it could be little early afternoon or maybe afternoon or morning. If you're dialing from India, it could be super early morning for you all. And right now, I would like to welcome each and every one of you to this nurturing children in the most holistic way, like holistic learning for children. And today I am thrilled and honored and excited to welcome my dear friend Lakshmi Lakshmi Priya. She is dialing all the way from San Antonio, Texas. Before I tell her something about her, I would like to tell one thing that why you should listen to her. She is one of the recipient of the most prestigious awards from the White House. She has received it for the volunteering service that she has done. It is one of the most prestigious awards one could ever receive, especially at a very young age like her. You can clearly see what kind of contributions that she's making, and we are going to learn more about that. Not only that, she's having a great and a very great background. She did her engineering in electrical and electronics. Not only that, she had an MBA in human resources, MSc in psychology, and she did her diploma in early childhood education. And she has a numerous knowledge, a tremendous knowledge in various ancient science of India. I would say astrology, Vastu, or you name it. She is a very profound, knowledgeable person. And she's also a co-founder of Self to Self. And she's also a CIO in New India Foundation, and she was also a software engineer at some point of time. And she has, apart from this technical side, spiritualistic side, and she has also another side that you're going to learn, that is her heart, where her calling is all about bringing the best in children, so that helping the parents so that they can bring best in their children. And she has a numerous lot of experience with respect to conflict resolution, decision making, lifestyle management, healthy lifestyle management, leadership, inspiration, and you name it. I'm just considering the time. I am cut shorting her intro, but she is a person of that beauty with brilliance. In short, thank you so much, Lakshmi Priya, and welcome to this beautiful show, a holistic learning for children. Thank you so much for
Thank you so
joining us.
much for this intro, Shiva sir. And greetings to you all who are in the live show of it. My humble pranams to each and every one of you over here.
Thank you. Thank you. First of all, Lakshmi Priya, I would like to ask you something. It's a curious question out of me. Like, how are you able to achieve so many things in such a short period of time? What exactly is your secret sauce?
Actually, throughout my life, I was doing two things. One, I was either learning or teaching. So when you teach, you learn more. When you learn, you have the curiosity to teach things also a lot. So throughout my life, I have been spending more time in this. Wherever we pour our attention or awareness, that thing, particular thing grows. So right from kid, I have a thing in my mind that education should be in a way that it is not only constrained to the school, but it is also like widespread throughout our life. And I have been getting inspired from Sri Aurobindo's books, which uh, put me in the right direction that learning does not start only after birth, it starts even before birth. So that was my starting point and my curiosity to learn more about this. And slowly I started learning each and every disciplines. As and days went passed on, what happened is I started seeing a common thing between every disciplines. It may be astrology or psychology. I was able to find something behind the screen, a common thread. So that made me more curious to learn. So always I used to tell to my students also, and I follow the same also in my life. If you are learning for a particular marks or degree, at a time you can learn only one. When you start to learn for some knowledge or to really know what it is, then there is no limit. I do not even say that sky is the limit, because you can also travel beyond that.
Oh, wow, right. So true, so true. And yes, you rightly mentioned something very, very key point, that is your learning starts even before you're physically born. The moment you are in your mom's womb, your learning already started, and your growing also already started right from the very minute. What a profound insight it was. And also, you mentioned something about learning and teaching. Like when you learn and when you teach, you learn even more. And I think that is where, like, you learn, implement and teach, learn, implement and teach. Like that's where you spread this whole. Now I got your secret sauce on how you got that prestigious award. And first of all, congratulations. I did not congratulate you on that. Congratulations on that.
Thank you so
All
much.
right, so now I want to ask you one more question. How, in today's fast changing world, how do you think that the parent should be equipped so that they can handle their children's emotions very well?
Yes. It's a very wonderful question, and it's a favorite question to my heart too.
Wow.
Because what I have been dealing with many, once I got into psychology. Then I was working as a counselor for some organizations in a volunteer-based way. That time I have come across many parents who have been having these issues. So
Mm.
each of them have been coming to get some advice from me, but in turn they poured a lot of insights in me. That was the truth. So what I understood was,
Mhm.
initially, if you are seeing our ancient Bharat culture, the family was in such a way that they were helping the kid to nurture physically, emotionally also. And they were sent later to Gurukulam or school to build them intellectually. And the kids got a mix of every aspects of their life in this
Mhm.
aspect. But later on, when it moves, the trend got little bit changed, and mother or father started the holding the position of a teacher. Before
Mm.
the school teaches ABCD or before the school teaches multiplication division, the parents were actually in a rush to teach the kids.
Mhm.
So,
Yes.
as a part of that, slowly, taking care of their physical or bringing awareness of how they should take care of their body, what type of food to eat, in which seasons, everything, we skipped that knowledge. We skipped how we have to behave in a public with the relations, in the friends, how to give, take, how to deal with our own emotions, how to handle us in a better way. All those things were literally stopped by the parents, and they started focusing only in the academic. So academic success was considered as the child's success. As a result, what happened was teachers were also boosting this kind of education. Parents were also boosting this kind of education. So that place was left vacuum for generations in these kids. As a result, once the academic chapter is closed and when they are coming to a workplace or entering into a new marriage or a family life, what happened is these kids were not really taught how to cope up with the emotions or situation handlings, or how to take care when a disease comes. They got into fear, stress, anxiety, and many things have started coming up, because this place which has to be filled by the parents has been left vacuum all over these years because of the pressure in the education setup. So these kids also does not know how to handle. Instead, they started going for doctors, psychologists, and everywhere, whereas they also didn't carry forward that to their children. So I always have an opinion that mother and father should be giving more importance to the physical health and emotional health of the children, rather than getting pressurized because of the intellectual fact. And I have also experienced the same thing in my real time also. When one my daughter had needed some um, help in the school related. We were in Philippines that time, and she was in need of a Filipino language. So once she came up with a homework asking, "Mom, I cannot understand. Can you please Google and help me with the answers?" I just
Mm.
took a plain sheet of paper. I wrote to the teacher, "Respected madam, I am from a non-Filipino background. So I will not be able to help my daughter to do the homework. Please make sure she learns in the class so that she is well equipped to handle the homework by her own, or make
Right.
sure this." So that was the first step I take, which I am telling the teacher that actually that I do not know, I need your help. And teaching is of course her duty. So I was putting that emphasis there. And this made my child also realize that mom is not going to help me if I'm little bit relaxed in the school. So I
Right.
want to push myself to learn in the school and make sure that I'm up to the point. So it is an indirect teaching to the child also that learning should be like more good in the school. So they don't get easily diverted or distracted also. So like when situations come in the life, if a parent is like able to guide the child rightly, that itself will make them the stepstones of success. But
Absolutely.
nowadays, what happened is we are not even we are deciding for children what they should learn, what course they should do, everything. And this has went still bit more one step upward. In my colony, if somebody is putting a child in swimming, then you also go swimming. If they are putting in taekwondo, then you also go taekwondo. So it has come like a way that your child, what she has to learn, has to be actually determined by the nature of the child or by the swadharma. So there
Right.
are many psychology tools for the analysis of that. Astrology is through our ancient way, or without even using tools, just observing the child for a week, the parents will be easily able to say that what kind of the brain the child is working, what could be their traits, characters, everything. But all these things skipped. Later, they were deciding my son should become a doctor or an engineer. Now that also has skipped, and oh, all the society members they are going for this particular course. Then you also go. So now we are really do not know who is deciding our child's future. Neither them nor we, but it has come through the community trends.
So
So
true.
when
So true.
these things are handled properly, the
Mm,
emotions of the child can be best handled. Whenever a person, not only for a child, for an adult also, whenever we are in our own original space,
mm,
means with your proper functioning of your body or your intellect and effectively using the skills what you have means, then
mhm.
at that place there is no release of any hard emotions. Whenever we try to excuse ourselves in a different time element or different space element where we do not belong to, then we are into stress.
So true, so true. You define stress so well that the stress is something where you are in a place or an element of space where you are not supposed to be or where you don't belong to. Wow, what a
Exactly.
profound statement. And also you mentioned something very, very, very vital, that the influence of the environment on a child or on a parent, like especially like the kind of decisions that you take, like as you mentioned, okay, neighbor's kid is going for a taekwondo session or a swimming lesson or whatever it is, and then your child is going there. That means that the child has become the product of or the football of everyone's thoughts. The child's
Exactly.
education has become a football of everyone's thoughts. Somebody says this, somebody says this, somebody says this. So that's where the whole, and also you mentioned something about the intellectual knowledge over the emotional well-being, and the importance, the example that you mentioned about your child in a foreign country when child cannot understand it. And you clearly defined something where most parents uh, miss this point. You They said that, oh, everyone knows this, you don't know it, or something like that. You pointed that it is not the child problem. You said this is not this is not a problem as you as a person, but you pointed at the behavior, because saying that your behavior, that you don't know this is okay, but you are a good person as a child. I'm a good person as a mother. That's a very, very wonderful, profound demonstration of you as a mother being supported to your child, because not many parents do that. They expect it. Oh, you're going there, so you should be getting that. All right. So now, when these children, like now, I understand that there are children who will grow into adults, and then they have their own set of lifestyle, which is been again passed to the children,
Mm.
or which has been again passed to the children. That means that when this child or whoever was a child 20 years ago, 30 years ago, has grown an adult who has raised in this vacuum, vacuum of this emotional education. And when they are raising their children, what kind of pressures that could cause on both parents and the children?
Yes. So what usually is our role model is our parents for most of the kids. If you are good able to see, they always remember their parenting and the young days how they have been. For
Correct.
example, if a kid has been like too much controlled,
Hmm.
there is some impression forms in the subconscious mind of the child. Either they get used to it, they get tamed, or
Right.
they become very rebellious to that nature. Okay, I will never control my child, and they will give over freedom.
Hmm. Wow.
If otherwise, if they have taken the lesson as that my father controlled me, that's why I am in a very good position now. So
Hmm.
I will also control my kid. So
So true.
here how it comes is we do not consider that what nature is the child.
Ah.
For me here, in my practical applications, what I found out is than psychology, astrology was playing a major role. For
Wow.
example, one of my student was telling me that, Madam, if this small baby, it's a newborn baby, less than 2 months old, if she cries, the whole apartment is shivering. She's making sound like anything.
Hmm.
If she cries, we cannot stop, and we feel that somebody should not come and make complaints on us. Then I just asked her when the kid was born and everything. I know she belongs to Pisces. The kid is Leo. So I said that don't expect your kid to be like you. She's a
Hmm.
lion. A lion cannot roar like a fish. A lion roaring means it's really a sound roaring. And
Right.
that is the element and nature of the kid.
Right.
You cannot expect the kid to whisper and talk. She will be like roaring only, whether it's crying, laughing, or the way she moves, everything. So,
Right.
in these things or the parameters that will help us initially to know that what would be the domination nature of the kid.
Wow.
Accordingly, these traits can be used. When you make
Hmm.
a mistake, you cannot make a loud noise. Leos
Correct.
also have a habit that if you are showing unconditional love, they surrender to you like a dog. They don't act like a lion at that time. So
Right.
these are the techniques which can be incorporated in parenting actually. Rather than we are going with a common method, whenever an individualized approach, what is the best that could suit the child? If a
Wow.
parent is able to understand that and implement, then parenting becomes very easy.
Wow. Wow.
I
Wow.
don't say that you will be always in bliss if you know this. Of course, you will also have your own up and downs. If you see it via science method, also the biorhythm of every individual changes. Their
Absolutely.
spiritual quotient, emotional quotient, and physical quotient. So definitely there will be the up and downs in their lives. But resetting yourself and coming back to the normal state becomes very easy.
Wow.
Yes, she's undergoing a particular dasha. She's undergoing now Saturn dasha. She will be like this only. Or for
Okay.
anyone is more Saturn influenced, you cannot
Hmm.
expect them to go and take bath every day and wear very clean clothes. You have
Wow.
to push them to take to bath. Go, go, go. Wear
Oh.
this dress and come. Why are you not ironing your dresses? So
Hmm.
that's the nature of them. So the nurturing is always there in your hands. When it comes to parenting, both nature and nurture plays an important role. So
Wow.
nature is this. So accept that. And then if you are able to modify the nurturing way, of course, in the 100% failure, you will be at least able to get some 50% results or 60% results.
So
And
true.
slowly, slowly, you can tune the way the it need to be. But I would always encourage parents or my students to do that. Always do not try to make the child to do something,
Hmm.
but enable the child to be. Means let they vibrate to their being.
Right.
That case, they are going to achieve the best. The same
Wow.
in Ayurveda also. Whenever we are at our tridoshas, balanced tridosha, then they are going to give the optimum working and perfection in their things.
Wow. Wow. Wow.
So we have many tools to actually see what could be
Yes.
done and how it could be impacted also.
Yes, I see that you have this multi-talented, multifaceted astrology, psychology, and the medicine aspect of the Ayurveda, apart from your science and technology side that you have been profound. And you mentioned something like nature and nurture. Like when you combine all of these things and find out the nature of the child and nurture the child accordingly. Very, very profound statement. And I also got the points like how can you just give me in 3 points or yeah, just three things. How could that affect that child when that child grows up because of the wrong parenting? And yeah, and once you do that, and I'll ask the next question. Mm.
So the famous Mahabharata is a great example for that.
Mhm.
Initial days, Duryodhana is not being controlled by Dhritarashtra.
Right,
The astrological Kulaguru also would have been predicting that the time the pot is breaking, it is not good to have the child, have the remaining of the child. But they
correct.
didn't consider out of that so much of love for him.
Hmm.
And at least in the nature of the child is not in a very right state is identified.
Correct.
But Gandhari Mata also like tied her eyes, and she was also not completely with the child's growth.
Right.
That's one part. Otherwise, they should have at least restricted the company of Shaguni with Duryodhana. So that also. At last, when it comes to a period that Dhritarashtra or anybody in the kingdom was not able to really control Duryodhana.
Right. So true.
So parenting, environment, everything favored for him. It is not that Duryodhana is completely a wrong person. He also is a very best friend to Karna. He was taking care of his wife in a very nice way. He had these qualities. But
Mm.
throughout his life, he has not been very content and settled.
Um, so true. So true. Okay, my next question, I think you already answered my next question, like how the child grows up and then. So, are there any tips like if you want to tell them if you want to I know that there are various aspects that you can correlate them from various angles like astrology angle and then the science angle and everything for a, a normal person, for a normal mother or a father, if you want to give them three simple steps. Hey, these are the three simple steps. This is the first simple steps because I understand it's a long journey. It is not just you learn
Yes.
this like this and then you become that. You change your direction, or you could. You never know, but that requires consistency. But if you want to get those three nuggets for those parents when they're seeing something wrong in their child or when they are seeing that hey, this is what you got to identify like this, take like this and then take them to the point A to point B. If you want to give them some kind of three tips, how would you give?
Yes. So my first point, which I would like always for the parents to give is that before coming into any conclusion or action, just
Mhm.
keep the observation on without a judgment. Don't observe your child like your own child. As if you're observing your neighbor child when you say that wow factor comes at many places. First for them. Second, whenever they make some blunders or mistake also, that blood does not boils inside the parents a lot.
Right.
So first, observe in a non-judgmental mode or just an observation of what they are doing. Then, do not come to a conclusion with their actions or the words the kids are saying. Because we
Mm.
ourselves as an adult have lot of struggles in expressing what we think to the other people, right? So kids
Yes.
also might have the same difficulty. What you
Right.
have to notice on what intent the kid has said particular word or particular action. So, what
Mm.
is the trigger of that particular event should be noted by the parents. Then, if the intention of the kid is very clear, then
Mm.
itself the parent will know that what has to be done at that point of time. Second one,
Mm-hmm.
whenever they find a deviation in the regular behavior of the child,
Mm.
for example, when you see that, especially when kids are moving from elementary to teenage or that kind of things, they will see that slowly, they will be revolving like the earth around the sun, right? That will
Yeah.
slowly stop and they will be taking a place of their own. Or they will try to isolate, go to a corner and something, a private space would be like needing for them,
Correct.
right? So that is the time where we have to really, we need not interfere in their private space, but still it's a time for vigil for the parents to know that are they in the right direction.
Okay, beautiful.
If they are finding a major deviation in their regular habits or behavior, before it got more worsen, correct the environment.
Mm.
For example, when we have TVs in the hall, bedroom, and everywhere around, we cannot expect the children to reduce the screen time.
Correct.
Right?
Right.
So make the environment in such a way that what other activities could give the same dopamine effect to this kid.
Correct.
Could be a playing or calling with a friend, something else. So identify that one and you easily replace. Anybody who is trying to break a habit will fail badly. But
Right.
introducing new habit will automatically occupy the space of the existing habits and it will make a real thing.
Okay, wow. New habits. Okay.
So
That,
whenever a new habit is introduced, it slowly takes time from the old habits and it occupies the space. So
yes.
introduce such effective new habits which could give them the same kind of energy.
Right.
And the third one is, which I would like suggest is parents be parents than teachers. Otherwise, the kid will not know that what to share with you and what to expect with you. For
Yeah.
example, a mom always says, why are you not eating? Why are you not washing the plate? Why are you not doing the homework? How many times I'm telling you to map this graph and you're making wrong? How many times I'm saying, tie your shoelace? Can't you wake up 5-10 minutes before? The kid will start seeing the mother as some machine or robotic way. Oh, anything she will shout at me. Or she's upset with me with all actions. Right?
Yes, so true.
So
So
the kid should be able to differentiate between the home, the school, the friends, environment, and everything. It's a very subtle difference. It doesn't mean that do not interfere. You have to see that also, what marks is going, everything. But the interference shouldn't be in such a way that for some you give the direct push, for some you give the indirect push.
so true. So true. Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you so much. Non-judgmental mode, and do not come to conclusion, and look for deviations. Where exactly is it a deviation in the right direction or a deviation in a wrong direction? And to far extent, to what extent it is being deviated, and then introduce the new habits so that the old habits will eventually vanish away by themselves. And then the final point is a golden nugget. Thank you so much. Be a parent, don't become a teacher or a preacher.
Yeah. Let
Yes.
us not take the teacher's job.
Right, right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for all your service, Lakshmi Priya, first of all. And also, also, if somebody, before we get into that, I want to ask you, do you recommend any books or anything for parents, especially so that because there is one thing that I noticed when you were telling, this requires one special skill with parent, that is the observation skills of a parent, or presence skills of a present parent should be present there. Then only they should be able to see that what's going on with the child. Is the child deviating, whatever it is? Or else if they are not present with themselves, if they are emotionally checked out, they just cannot see the things what's going on there. So in order for you, are there any tips that you can suggest it for the parents to exercise, so that okay, now I'm able to see the my child's deviation? Because many times there is a possibility that parent may not even notice until it's too late.
Right. Sir, I have it. That's what I was telling you, right? From normal habits, whenever a deviation is happening, means the
Mhm.
habits usually the kids start to drop. For example, if they're reading slokas every day, they will
Mhm.
start giving excuse for that particular thing. Or
Correct.
you have to keep on reminding for them to come back and read at particular point of time.
Right.
Then means you can know that the deviation has started there
Mhm.
instead of completely before it gets break. And this I used to say to my students. And one student, whenever she calls me, she often repeats me this. I used to say that parents are the report card, means children are the report card for the parents.
Wow. Mm.
So from your child behavior, you can see that which pattern of you has not yet worked out.
Wow. Right.
So the behavior which is like, which you feel annoyed or which you feel very happy about them, the main seed is from either you or your spouse.
Correct. So true. So true.
Because that was the one which was very challenging in you that you didn't change, and that came very dominated in the child.
Ah, wow. 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 Wow.
So
Wow.
this goes as per scripture also, as per I can give n number of stories for you from Puranas also, from the science perspective of genetics also, if you
Hmm.
could see. This point will fit for everything.
Wow. Thank you.
When you
Thank
started seeing the child behavior as your own report card, your temperament also will be in a different way.
So true.
So
Absolutely.
we will
So,
start. Yeah. So
wow.
Sri Mother always used to say that if you really want to work on a child,
Mm-hmm.
start working on yourself also.
Right.
So the more you work on yourself, the more you will be able to see the results over there.
Wow.
And if you're seeing by any ways, like if you take the Ayurvedic perspective, it's the parents who cook food, right?
Correct.
How much they have their emotions or how much they are into the present moment in cooking, that vibrations or that when we say in spiritual terms, we say the aura falls on the food.
Aura falls in the food. Wow. Okay.
So
Right. So true.
that
Mm-hmm.
also impacts the child,
Mm.
because ultimately the physical food is consumed by the baby, right? So
Correct.
whenever I say that, that's why we gave more importance to prasadam in Sanatan Dharma culture.
Mm.
Whenever they give that to God, also they do Nirvikalpi Bhava and they do the remove all the
Negative.
things and then only the energies and they present the food. The same thing. It is not only about the organic food, it is about the organic thought, organic environment also. For a child
Wow.
to be very organic.
All right. Organic food and organic thoughts. So
Yeah.
true. So true. Yeah.
Because
Organic.
even organic food we are getting, organic thought has
Absolutely.
to be really
Right.
inculcated from the childhood.
Right, right. I think this is such a golden nuggets. Like you just can go just only on organic foods, organic thoughts, and organic environment. That itself is a whole different topic that we can go off. And yes, every point that you mentioned about the learning and teaching about your IS. Yeah, and about the books, astrology versus psychology, astrology and psychology, not versus the nature and nurturing, and all the points that you have mentioned there, such a golden nuggets for every parent that they can take something and then take it to the next level. And mm, are there any books that you could see or recommend? I understand that you have a very good mm, strong foundation, not a good but a very strong foundation, that you got it from the Sri Aurobindo books. So are there anything that you recommend to our viewers? Hey, say that
Yes,
this is one particular one that stands out for you, that
sir, it was Mother's education series on integral education was the one which have given me a lot of insights about this. But
wow.
also I have explored Montessori, Waldorf, Credo, Nephi, and
Mm,
you name any philosophy, J.K. Krishnamurti's, everything I was interested. And always I was able to say some, follow this, no, then you would be missing some other things too. You be very open to the learning, read everything which
right.
is vibrating to your level or which you feel that this would suit my daughter. Take it. For example, Waldorf is based on stories till the end.
Wow.
But
Okay.
Waldorf stories can be used very, it inculcates the imagination and everything, right? When the kid is less than 5, you can make use of that to multiple.
Mm,
Montessori, they use the materials till 12th grade. But especially in the young age, Montessori is very much important because it gives hand brain connection. The neurons are working very perfect with these materials and everything. So, like
mm,
that, every curriculum has its own way of seeing things. Integral, it takes place of physical, vital, psychic, spiritual, every aspect of the human being also. So, all the development of has to be done. But what I would say is that take the good or bad or whatever you feel that it is appropriate for your child's subhava. Inculcate that in it. And all these education, in my understanding, all these have been created centuries back. Like some decades back. I will not even say centuries, decades back. We are updating our mobile phone twice at least, or once at least every year. We are
Right.
updating our laptops. We are remodeling our houses, kitchens, everything. But education system was not done to that much level of things.
Right.
So
Right.
the base is the same. Yes, the base is the same to bring
Right.
awareness to the child. And if you are going for reads books of Swami Vivekananda, especially on education, I really love that.
Right.
So it is something that if you really want to give a good education,
Mm-hmm.
not come into like either black or white. Instead, you can also choose gray. The
Right.
ancient wisdom combined with the modern science is my approach whenever I deal with the kids. So
Mm.
that they know the value of their legacy and they also do not deny the power of science.
Wow. Yes. Thank you. Thank you so much, Lakshmi Priya. And one final question, one final thing that I want to ask you is in order for someone to fast track their journey as a parent or like to know the holistic like 360 degrees in 360 degrees directions or in a 360 degree angle, let me put you that way, that hey, this is what exactly is going on, so that if somebody wants to reach out to you so that they can fast track their journey, what would be the best option for them, so that I know you also have a pretty limited time, but what would be the best option so that in case if somebody wants to reach out to you?
So the best option for now is like we are getting slowly enabled in the social media. Last 15 years, I was not in the social media. Now we are slowly getting into YouTube and Instagram also in the name of Take Your Flight. The reason of this was channel was given by my astrology sir actually.
Mm,
And he wants the process to be actually very fast. That's why he gave the name of Take Your Flight. Means
wow.
don't go move like a tortoise speed, really take a fast journey. And this is also can be done when one has a very holistic 360-degree understanding of it. Like what is that actual human being made up of, where are his levels and everything. We may be physically 40 years old, but our emotion age, if you are able to see a movie where we'll be crying like a 5-year-old too.
True.
So one should be able to understand themselves completely, and
Mm-hmm.
that was the power of learning or education. So knowledge of self was considered, or the Atma Vidya or Brahma Vidya was considered to be the highest Vidya in our thing.
Yeah, the ultimate education, the ultimate.
Ultimately, yes.
Right.
So everyone should, if they are able to go through an internal process to that also, they will be able to achieve this. And for us, the best way is to reach now through these channels.
Sure. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Lakshmi Priya. And guys, I also want, I also wish you everyone at the all the very best that goes to your life. And whatever is the golden nuggets that you got it from our dear friend Lakshmi Priya, all the way from San Antonio. She had extremely strong, deep-rooted roots back in India, from Coimbatore, India, to the west. The east, it's an amalgamation of the east and the west, and she's a perfect combination. Please reach out to her. Please see questions, ask her any kind of questions in her Instagram profile or any of her social media profile, and she'll be very, very happy to tell you, to teach you, so that you can fast track that journey, that she can take you into that flight mode, not in a tortoise mode. All right. Thank you so much once again. And you guys have a fantastic and a very, 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 very blessed day to you all. Thank you. Bye now. Thank
Thank
you.
you, sir. My sincere gratitude to you. You made the evening very luminous. I always want to create learning luminous people, and you made a very light for all of them today. Thank you so much.
Thank you.